Hello everyone, my name is Will, and welcome to the Brick Zone. I'm here today with the LEGO Knights Kingdom set number 8703, Sir Kentis. The set was originally released in 2006 and included 43 pieces. Here's a closer look at Sir Kentis from the front. I believe that he was from the third wave of the Knights Kingdom buildable figures, so it was more towards the end of the theme. I actually like his color scheme a lot better than the four original Knights. The red, the blue, purple, and green ones, which people often refer to as Rainbow Knights, if I recall. So yeah, his color scheme, like this dark green and the silvers and grays going on here, I think it looks more serious and realistic compared to those older Knights, so I think that's a plus. If you take a look at the front of his torso, at the front of his armor, you can see the sections of chainmail there, which look good, and they also add like texture, so if you actually feel that, you will feel a difference. And on the torso itself, you can see some little bumps there, and his shoulders as well as his helmet are in this marbled silver gray color, which looks really nice. And you can actually just detach the shoulders like this, or attached by some Technic pins in black, which is good, doesn't show up as much. And while we're close here, I'll just lift up his helmet, and there you can see his face. I think he's supposed to be one of the good knights, but I don't know. What do you guys think of that face? So it's a little mean to me. Maybe he's just serious. So, give you a closer look up here. It's a mix of Technic pieces and brick pieces. You can see those modified plates on the front and these giant leg armor pieces attached here, which extend all the way to the feet. So let's just look at him from afar. Put his helmet back on. Just zoom out a little bit more. Oh, I guess not. So that's mostly takes care of everything from the front. Here you can see there's also some gold or yellowed gold in the color scheme as well on his shield. I think that's a really cool, funny looking shield. You could either think of it as a horse or a horse, or no, a horse with armor with a horn, or you can think of it as a unicorn. I'd like to think of it as a unicorn, just because I think that's kind of funny. Nice coat of arms. So you can see some more of the shoulder armor. Next we move on to the back. You can see his actual torso itself on the back is also in gold, like the shield, so they kind of go well together. What I don't like, though, is the back of his legs. The fact that, like, they're really exposed. I mean, even his back on the torso too, like, it's all exposed. So it would have been nice to kind of like cover that up somehow, kind of make the armor feel more complete all around. And even on the wrist there, you can see exposed studs. Not good. And here you can see the two gears, which I'll get to soon for the action feature. Pretty simple. From the side, doesn't look that great. I mean, you can see same problem with the helmet as was with the legs, that it doesn't really wrap around completely, and you can see the back here. Not as bad though, since there is this sort of back of his head. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, there's some texture there too. But I guess his arm, since there's no friction in there when you move them, it kind of just hangs back like that, no matter how you pose it. So that doesn't really look good. And the shield comes off alright, but anyway, here's the action feature. Those gears I showed before, you can basically make him use his arms. In his hand there, he has a mace. So you can just do that. It's alright, kind of reminds me of Bionicle a bit, but with less gears. showing, I guess. And he can do the same with a shield, like that. So it's kind of cool if he's defending himself from above or a low attack or something. Yeah, it's nice. So everything, besides everything I've shown, the articulation and whatnot, like, and how he poses, it's basically, they just uses a lot of ratcheted joints, or ratcheted pieces. So here, if you take it out, you can see the Technic pin connects there. Oh, it's a nice sand, I guess brown and sand blue colors. So you just snap it in, and same on the other side. Most of the things are connected by like Technic pieces, like this axle with the mace, and here another Technic pin connects the shield, like that. Well, this is the brick part, but you can kind of rotate it around on the pin, like that. So if he wants it forward or to the side, you can adjust that as needed. But a lot of articulation, though, leaves a lot of room for posability, which is nice. So you can actually attach his feet, like I have here, to a studded surface. So it leaves room for like a lot of poses. Like you can be falling, or let's see, you can be in the middle of a run like that, and he could just sort of run there and just stand on his own if you have him attached to a secure enough studded surface, which is pretty cool. So, you know, you can move his legs. Here, I'll take him off the base. Move him here, at his knees, the hips, do jumping jacks. And, like I showed you guys earlier, you can swing. You can also bend there with the gear. So yeah, I didn't have any of the original Knights Kingdom construction figures. I guess that's what you would call this. It would fall under that kind of theme, these construction figures. I'm not sure if they had the name for them, or that name for them at this time yet, but I think that's what they call them today. Just the buildable action figures Lego has. So, that about does it. Just gonna zoom out so you guys can see a bit. Just give a 360 again. Overall, I like him. I didn't really like the colors of the original Knights Kingdom Knights, like I mentioned earlier. But, well, besides that, I didn't really have any of the old construction figures of them. I had like the minifig ones in the buildable sets, system sets, but none of the big buildable figures like this. So, you know, I got Sir Kentis here towards the end, and I have to say, I think they're pretty fun. I like the mix of Technic building and system building, and I think from the front, Sir Kentis here looks really good, and overall I really like his colors and his shield, and even his weapon is pretty cool. I mean, my only complaint, as I mentioned earlier, is just the fact that the back of his legs and just the back in general is just really exposed. But other than that, can't complain, because he has a lot of options for posability and just a lot of articulation, which I do enjoy. You can even turn his head around a little bit here. So that about wraps it up. Leave a comment with any thoughts you have on Knights Kingdom or construction Lego figures. Like or dislike the video, and subscribe to the Brick Zone for more video reviews and stop motions.